a lot of speed.
He warming up
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm going to beat your ass and I'm going to beat Jaden on Love. On my mama, I'm going to beat both of y'all ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you got to know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You got to understand their DNA, you know. And we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that.
Gervonta Davis fired back after hearing that Jake Paul sparred with Shakur Stevenson ahead of their fight. Davis said Jake can train with anyone he wants, but it won't change the outcome. He promised to prove his real power on fight night and punish Jake in the ring, making it clear that no amount of sparring or preparation will save him once they meet face to face.
Now, don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm going to show you and him. Bet.
And it begs the question, Tank.
Nothing.
Boxing analysts have pointed out the irony in the backlash over the Jake Paul vs. Tank Davis fight. While many fans and purists criticize Tank's decision, others see opportunity, whether for promotion or personal gain. Shakur Stevenson even acknowledged this tension, admitting that although Tank's choice may upset traditional boxing fans, he's still open to sparring with Jake Paul to stay relevant and contribute to the sport's buzz. This situation highlights the complicated balance between business, reputation, and fan expectations in today's boxing world.
Criticism for fighting Jake Paul, but yet at the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight, and then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake Paul.
Analysts suggest that Gervonta Davis is prioritizing financial gain in his recent fight decisions. His upcoming matchup with Jake Paul has fueled this belief, as many argue Tank is chasing money over legacy or boxing prestige. Critics point out that if fans truly want to see him fight elite opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach, promoter Turk would need to present him with a payday on the scale of Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. At this stage of his career, money appears to be Tank's biggest motivation, outweighing the pursuit of competitive glory.
Look at how Tank started acting after he made $40 million with Ryan. When he make another $40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40, 50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, give me that Canelo money, man.
Shakur Stevenson, a widely respected name in boxing, expressed his disappointment after Tank chose to fight Jake Paul instead of him. He said Tank's decision looks like ducking, something many view as disrespectful to the sport. Shakur stressed that real fighters take on real challenges, and by picking a crossover opponent over an elite professional like himself, Tank is hurting boxing's integrity. His remarks have further fueled the debate about Tank's true priorities and whether money is outweighing sporting honor.
What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Tank Davis fired back at fans questioning whether he's dodging top fighters like Shakur Stevenson. He made it clear he doesn't care about public opinion, pointing out that fans often switch loyalties after just one bad performance. Tank stressed that his focus is on his own career and personal goals, not on pleasing every critic. His response shows his unapologetic stance on handling pressure and criticism while keeping full control over his choices and fight path.
Gervonta, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the Roach rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
Michael J. White joined the debate, saying that no matter the hype or performance, Jake Paul can never be seen as a real boxing champion. He pointed out the difference between exhibition or crossover fights and true championship bouts sanctioned by major boxing bodies. His remarks echo the views of many fighters and fans who believe Paul's matches are more about entertainment than genuine championship skill, adding to the doubt over the fight's legitimacy.
Do you think that Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title?
No, no, because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the f up. If he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10, that would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be, to me, the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way, because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, oh, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body, because I thought that that's what would win him the thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
Daniel Cormier, former champion and respected analyst, criticized the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight, calling it dull and lacking excitement. He argued that Tank isn't fighting because he needs money and that the matchup doesn't match the level of competition expected at this point in his career. Cormier suggested the fight is more about grabbing attention and social media buzz than raising boxing's competitive standards.
Wait, I thought it was 190. Dean, that's bad. Because you know what that tells me? That tells me that even he recognizes that he's too big for him.
Yes.
He recognizes that he's too big for him.
I'm wondering how this even came about. It can't be that Gervonta Davis needs money. That can't be the reason why
he's been a world champion so recently. How could he be broke?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is he doing this for money? And then why? And how is even Jake Paul doing this when no one respects it? Like, I can't think of anybody that respects this.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, I mean, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
And it seems like people are playing by those rules. I remember a couple weeks ago, the WBC and the Jose Sulaiman was very upset that he wasn't going to be able to put the belt on the winner at Canelo versus Crawford. That's the thing that's happened since the beginning of the time. Those guys are very powerful in boxing. But with Zuffa boxing, it was almost like that power was getting stripped away. they were very disappointed. But how can you take those sanctioning organizations seriously when they are sanctioning this?
That's my point. That's my point. That's why I think that this whole thing that we have, this boxing and this MMA argument and Zuffa getting into boxing, our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I talked about this before. Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis's last fight was at 136 pounds.
Commentator Showbiz the Adult noted that while the fight may be unconventional, public curiosity alone will likely drive huge viewership. Tank's recent talk of possibly walking away from boxing has fueled doubt among fans about whether the matchup will even happen. Adding to the uncertainty, his heated exchanges with Shakur Stevenson on social media have intensified speculation, with both fighters openly questioning each other's abilities. This mix of drama, rivalry, and unpredictability blurs the line between pure entertainment and true competition in boxing.
Do we think the fight is ridiculous between you and Jake Paul? Yes. Are we going to watch it? Yeah. Do we like it? Maybe. Maybe. And let me tell you why it's maybe, why it's not no, why it's not yes. It's maybe because many of us, we just don't believe it. We just don't believe the fight is real. We know it's an exhibition, but we just don't believe that you two are going to try to take each other's heads off. Other than that, it's kind of interesting. You have a 5'5" lightweight versus a heavyweight Jake Paul, who's really not a boxer with an amateur background and all that shit, but he's been knocking people out. It's kind of interesting if we know y'all would try to knock each other's head off. And we don't know that because Mike Tyson did knock out Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Rock Logan Paul, they kept him standing. That shit, we getting tired of that shit, right? We need confidence. Are you guys going to try to knock each other's heads off? Jake Paul, when you swing at Tank, are you going to try to hit him and knock that little man over the top rope into the damn fifth aisle? Are you going to try to hit him and make his ass evaporate? Or Tank, are you going to show the world that Jake Paul should not be in the square circle with a real boy? Are you going to try to knock his ass out, sleep him, drop him like you did Ryan Garcia, stop him the way you did Mario Barrios, knock him out like you did Leo Santa Cruz? Are we going to get a viral knockout? Are y'all going to try to stop each other?
Teofimo Lopez, a top boxer, shared his thoughts on the fight, saying it should be seen more as entertainment than a real sporting contest. He highlighted the difference between true championship bouts and crossover events, suggesting that Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is more of a spectacle designed to attract attention than to prove who's the best in boxing. His view reflects the growing belief that many modern fights focus more on showmanship and media buzz than pure competition.
Great fight, great matchup. It's fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun, it makes it entertaining. That's what it's all about, you know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless, it doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank though. Has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's the champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ. Ooh.
Tim Bradley, a former world champion, shed light on the personal and professional pressures weighing on Tank Davis outside the spotlight. He called on critics to think about the mental and physical strain fighters endure before passing harsh judgments. Bradley noted that Tank has faced serious challenges lately, and the non-stop scrutiny from fans, media, and analysts only adds to the burden. His perspective reminds us that fighters live under immense stress, and recognizing that reality allows for a more fair and respectful discussion about their career decisions.
A Tank, you know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you got to know about somebody's history. So, like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like, his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail, You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you gotta understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And this is not making any excuses, people. This isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, you know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right.
Analysts have raised concerns about the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis fight and what it means for boxing's future. While the bout is expected to generate massive revenue and attention, many argue it does little to strengthen the sport's credibility. Paul's approach of targeting high-profile opponents with clear size or skill differences may spark curiosity, but critics warn it also undermines traditional competitive standards. For purists, this type of matchup risks reducing boxing's legitimacy and professionalism, even as it captures mainstream interest. The matchup continues to fuel debate about its impact on the sport. Experts highlight that Jake Paul strategically chooses opponents to maximize hype, and his decision to face Tank Davis is no exception. The major weight difference between them adds drama, raising questions about how Tank will cope and whether Paul can shock fans. This approach guarantees massive viewership and media buzz, showcasing Paul's business-savvy mindset and the entertainment-first nature of modern boxing promotions.
Why are you not fighting guys your own fucking size? Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? Yeah. This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight. I want him to hit. I mean, I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, you know, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would it'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be great.
Commentators noted that during the face-off, Tank looked noticeably smaller than Jake Paul, leaving some fans calling the moment embarrassing. Still, analysts stressed that size doesn't tell the full story. Tank's speed, skill, and experience give him a clear edge. His agility, precision, and ring IQ make him the superior fighter, proving that while face-offs may shape perception, the real test will come under the lights on fight night.
And I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is, how do I catch this little son of a bitch? Because he's fast. And, you know, Gervonta, I would, you know, I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to, you know, cut down in weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh, you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter or anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around, good weight. You've been training hard. Whatever it is, because they've said 195 is the max that
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned. Until next time on Knockout Chronicles.